They thought you wouldn't notice. They thought you'd keep doubting yourself while they moved in silence, trying to control the outcome of your life with manipulation, chaos, and confusion. But what they didn't realize is this: you are chosen, and being chosen means everything around you reacts differently. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. When you speak, it echoes deeper than their lies. And when you go quiet, that silence becomes their nightmare. You see, the reason they tried to distract you, the reason they kept trying to convince others that you were lost, unstable, or overthinking, is because they knew exactly what you were becoming. Their masks couldn't survive your clarity. Their shadows couldn't survive your presence. And now, the same tricks they used to trap you are backfiring. Every attempt to destroy you is exposing them. Every lie they told about you is circling back. Their strategy was noise, but your power, it's in the silence, in the stillness, in that unshakable inner knowing that you're not here to fit in, you're here to disrupt. So when the ringing comes, chosen one, don't brush it off. That sound isn't random. It's your frequency rising. It's the sign that your energy is no longer at their level. And the moment you rise, they fall into the hole they dug for you. That's what haunts them most. Not your rage, not your revenge, but your ability to outgrow the war they tried to trap you in. Before we go deeper into this powerful message, take a second, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let the world know. You're not just waking up, you're becoming unstoppable. The power you carry can't be duplicated, can't be dimmed, and it definitely can't be ignored. They tried to silence you, confuse you, make you question your path, but it backfired. Chosen one, the ringing in your ears isn't random. It's the sound of your energy shifting, your power rising. What they used to control you is now exposing them. Your silence, your growth, your elevation, it haunts them. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to shake foundations. The more you detach, the more they unravel. You are the disruption they feared. If this message hits home, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, your power can't be duplicated. Now, let's go even deeper. Number 1. Stop ignoring the ringing. It's a divine alarm, not a coincidence. What if the sound you keep hearing isn't just in your ear, but in your destiny? What if that high-pitched frequency, that sudden vibration in silence, isn't a random glitch, but a precision-targeted signal meant only for you? Chosen one, when you hear that ringing, it's not just a sound. It's a summon, a call, a shift. It happens in moments when you're not distracted, when you're not pretending, when the mask is off and your mind is still. That's when the real world speaks. Not the world people see, but the world that sees you. The world that knows what you're carrying. You weren't born to live a quiet, average life. You were born with frequencies inside you that disrupt systems, break patterns, and awaken the room without needing a single word. That's why the ringing finds you and not them. It's not a glitch, it's guidance. But here's what most don't tell you. The moment you become aware, you also become dangerous. Because now, you're no longer reacting to life. You're reading it. Even some of the sharpest minds in history, Tesla, Jung, Da Vinci, spoke of receiving inspiration from invisible realms, insights they couldn't explain but couldn't deny. You're no different. You're not going crazy. You're growing more tuned in. The ringing you hear is an energetic checkpoint, a flash alert from something higher that says, look around, something's shifting. But too many people brush it off. They drown it in noise. Don't be like them. When the ringing comes, stop, breathe, drop in, ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Who's around me? because the message is not outside of you, it's buried deep within, and the sound is just the key unlocking it. You're not imagining this, you're remembering it. This is your recalibration, your system tuning itself to something bigger than routines, louder than lies, and stronger than fear. And the moment you start honoring that call, everything in your life begins to align. You walk different, think different, and people start reacting, because now you're no longer asleep in the matrix. You're awake in the battlefield. Number 2, silence the noise. Only in stillness can you hear the truth. When was the last time you truly sat in silence? Not just quiet from the outside world, but stillness within. No distractions, no overthinking, just you and what's trying to reach you. Chosen one, you're not like the rest. You don't thrive in chaos. You see too much, feel too deeply, and sense what others ignore. That's why the world tries to keep you busy, mentally cluttered, emotionally drained, and spiritually numb. Because the moment you sit still, the moment you go quiet, everything becomes loud in your soul, and that's what they fear. Your clarity, your knowing, your ability to hear what others are too afraid to face. The ringing in your ears is not just noise. It's a signal piercing through the mental traffic. It's a call from something higher saying, "You've drifted too far from your inner world. Come back." But here's the trap. If you're always plugged into other people's chaos, if you're always rushing, talking, reacting, you'll miss it. You'll miss the message meant just for you. Stillness is not weakness. It's where your real power begins. People mistake silence for emptiness, but silence, true silence, is full of direction, full of healing, full of revelations that your enemies hoped you'd never discover. Because when you get still, you begin to separate the truth from the noise. You begin to see who's really for you and who's been draining you. You begin to understand your path, your purpose, and your power. You weren't meant to follow every trend or absorb every voice. You were meant to be in tune with your instincts, your energy, your calling. But that tuning doesn't happen in the crowd. It happens when you step back and create sacred space. Space for you to breathe, feel, hear, and awaken. Number 3, quit waiting for thunder. The whisper is already your instruction. You've been trained to expect the big moment, the loud answer, the flashing sign. But chosen one, your message won't always arrive like a storm. It often comes like a whisper. And if you're waiting on thunder to move, you might miss the exact moment the universe already handed you the map. The ringing in your ear isn't an error. It's not background noise. It's an instruction wrapped in silence. It appears when your mind is clear, when your defenses are down, and when you're no longer performing for the world. That's when your true guidance slips through. Quiet, precise, and made just for you. The reason so many people stay stuck is because they only move when chaos forces them. But you're not ordinary. Your instructions are subtle, and they come early, before the collapse, before the betrayal, before the shift. That's power. That's being chosen. You don't need an earthquake to wake you up. You've already been tapped on the shoulder, so quit doubting it. The whisper you keep trying to ignore, that's your call to action. The ringing you feel during those quiet moments, that's your timeline shifting. Chosen one, don't wait until everything falls apart to realize you were already told what to do. Listen now, move now, elevate now. Number 4, don't dismiss the shift. You're being called, not confused. Chosen one, that shift you're feeling, it's not a phase. It's not confusion, it's confirmation. The ringing in your ears, the sudden sense of disconnect from things that once felt normal. The way your spirit no longer tolerates certain people, places, or conversations. This is not chaos. It's clarity unfolding. You are not losing your mind. You're finally stepping out of the mental fog they trained you to live in. The old version of you was compliant, easily distracted, controlled by expectations. But now, you're hearing something different, something higher. The ringing, that's a code, a frequency breaking through the noise, alerting you that something inside you has changed. You're being called not to fit in, but to break patterns, to exit cycles, and to answer a pull that logic can't explain. They want you to think you're confused. That's their last line of defense, making you doubt your own shift. But they're not scared of your confusion. They're terrified of your clarity. Because clarity gives you direction, and direction, that ruins their game. You're not meant to return to who you were. That discomfort you feel isn't dysfunction, it's evolution. The ringing is your soul's siren, signaling that you're crossing into a new level of awareness. Pay attention, honor it, don't medicate it, don't silence it. Chosen ones like you aren't built to blend in. You're built to awaken, and the shift you're feeling is not asking for your permission. It's already happening. Number 5, start tracking the signs. Random moments are actually roadmaps. Chosen one, let this sink in. Nothing is random anymore. That strange ringing in your ears, that flash of a thought you had before it, that number that keeps showing up, it's not coincidence, it's coordination. The universe is speaking in code, and you were built to crack it. Every time you ignore that strange moment, you miss a puzzle piece. Every time you shrug off that pattern, you delay your breakthrough. This is not superstition. This is your spiritual navigation system activating in real time. The ringing isn't just noise, it's a timestamp, a marker, a signal that says, pay attention, right now. What were you thinking? Who were you around? What energy was in the room? Because that ringing didn't come to distract. It came to direct. Start writing it down. Get a notebook. Track the time. Track your thoughts. Track the feeling in your chest, the tension in your gut, the fire in your mind. When you review those notes later, you'll notice something wild. A map will start forming. The signs will connect. The answers will reveal themselves. The truth you couldn't see will become the truth you can't ignore. Chosen ones don't just walk by faith, they walk by confirmation. This ringing? It's confirmation that something is shifting. You're not lost, you're being led. So stop brushing off random moments. That's how average people stay stuck. But you were built to follow the hidden trail. Your elevation depends on what you notice. Number 6, create a sacred space your soul can't hear through chaos. Chosen one, in a world that thrives on noise, your silence becomes sacred. But here's the truth no one talks about. You can't hear what's meant for you if you're buried in distractions that were never meant for your growth. You've got people around you stirring drama just to keep your energy spinning. Environments pulling you in 5 different directions, notifications, expectations, and conversations that drain your focus. And yet you wonder why clarity hasn't come. It's not that you're not being guided, it's that your guidance is getting lost in the static. You were never meant to find yourself in chaos. You were meant to build clarity like a temple, intentionally, brick by brick. This is your reminder. Create a space that feels like peace, not pressure. A corner of your world that belongs only to you. A space where your spirit breathes, where your intuition can speak without interruption. Whether it's a quiet room, a moment alone in nature, or even a few stolen minutes of silence, make it yours and guard it with everything you've got. Because in that space, your energy resets, your soul recalibrates, and suddenly all the confusion starts to clear. What once felt tangled now feels obvious. And that ringing in your ear, it doesn't just buzz, it guides. Chosen ones don't just survive the noise, they rise above it by building environments that match their power. So don't wait for peace. Create it, protect it, and let it transform you. Number 7, honor the ringing. During change, it means you're leveling up, not breaking down. Chosen one, here's what they'll never admit. Your transformation terrifies them. Not because it's loud, but because it's real. Every time your life starts to shift, every time you begin to pull back from chaos, cut ties, or question your surroundings, the ringing returns. You know why? Because change isn't random in your life. It's recalibration. And the ringing? That's your confirmation. Most people fall apart during their breakdowns, but not you. You were built differently. You don't just survive the storm, you become the lightning. So when the ringing shows up during moments of change, listen closely. It's not a sign you're losing control. It's a sign you're gaining clarity. Your body, your mind, your spirit, they're all syncing to a new frequency. One they can't reach, one they can't interfere with anymore. That's why they try to pull you back when you start to grow. That's why the doubts creep in. But chosen one, let that ringing remind you, you are not breaking down, you're breaking through. When everything starts shifting, your habits, your circles, your focus, that's not destruction, that's ascension. That's the leveling up they hoped would never come. The old version of you was compatible with their dysfunction. But this new version, it's unrecognizable, unstoppable, untouchable. So don't resist the change, don't fear the ringing. It's your signal that elevation is happening behind the scenes. Trust it, respect it, rise with it. Number 8, don't misread the energy. That frequency. Spike means you're upgrading. Chosen one, that sudden ringing in your ears, that shift in energy that feels like a pulse shooting through your body. It's not random, it's not something to fear. It's a signal, you're upgrading, but only if you're awake enough to recognize it. Most people will dismiss it as noise. They'll pop a pill, turn on the TV, drown it out. But you're different. You've been marked by something rare. And when your body starts vibrating at new frequencies, it's because your spirit is leveling up. Your old system is being stripped away, and the universe is tuning you into something higher, sharper, stronger. But here's the catch. With every upgrade, the enemy panics. They sense it before you do. That's why the chaos intensifies. That's why you suddenly feel drained around certain people. Why old environments feel too small. Why you can't tolerate fake smiles or shallow conversations anymore. Your soul is rejecting anything not aligned with your evolution. So don't misread the ringing. Don't confuse discomfort with destruction. You're not falling apart. You're breaking limits. That frequency spike, it's your signal that something is being activated within you. A new vision, a new awareness, a new era. Let others stay blind. You were built to see. Let others fear the sound. You were born to move through it. This is your calibration, your ascension, your reminder that nothing about you is average. You're not glitching, you're growing. Step into it. Number 9, stop smiling through warnings. If the ringing feels off, trust it. Chosen one, stop pretending you're okay in rooms that make your spirit scream. That ringing in your ear. It's not always a sign of elevation. It can be a red flag dressed as a whisper. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've felt it. That sudden high-pitched tone that shows up right when someone fake hugs you, or when you're standing in a space that drains your soul. That's not coincidence. That's your warning system activating. Your energy knows before your mind can explain. But you've been taught to be polite, to smile, to stay still, even when everything inside you is telling you to move. Stop that. You're not like the rest. You don't get luxury in ignorance. You're chosen. That means your sensitivity is your weapon. That ringing is your cue to pause, to observe, to question. What energy just entered this space? Why does my body feel like it's bracing for something unseen? The wrong people will call you paranoid. But they called prophets crazy too, until everything they warned about came true. You're not overreacting. You're finally tuned in. Don't keep watering dead gardens. Don't stay loyal to discomfort. If that sound feels wrong, it is wrong. Trust it. Move different. Exit without apology, because your peace is not worth sacrificing just to keep up appearances. You weren't chosen to be liked. You were chosen to discern. The ringing won't lie to you, but the people around you might. Protect your frequency. Because when you stop smiling through the warnings, you stop inviting what's meant to destroy you. Number 10. Shield your energy. Not every vibe deserves your presence. Chosen one, your energy is gold, and gold doesn't belong in every room. The moment you start vibrating higher, people will either rise to meet you or try to pull you back down. And not because you've changed, but because your growth exposed their comfort in chaos. That's why the ringing hits you harder when you're around certain people or places. It's not paranoia, it's a warning. Your spirit recognizes what your eyes can't see. You were not chosen to entertain low vibrations, emotional vampires, or chaos agents in disguise. Your calm, your stillness, your presence, it unsettles the ones who feed off drama. Why? Because they can't manipulate what they can't reach. And you, chosen one, are becoming untouchable. Not because you're cold, but because you're protected. Every time the ringing shows up around people who drain you, that's your signal. Withdraw, protect, reset. Not every invitation is meant to be accepted. Not every conversation is meant to be had. Not every energy deserves your attention. Protect your peace. Protect your power. You've worked too hard to vibrate this high, only to dim yourself for people who never deserved your light. You weren't meant to be naive. You were meant to move with precision. So stop doubting your instincts. Start trusting the signals, because your spirit will always know before your mind understands. When the ringing comes, chosen one, ask yourself, what am I feeling? Not what makes sense. What your intuition reveals is often what the world tries hardest to hide. And as we wrap this up, remember, your intuition isn't guessing, it's guiding. That ringing in your ears, that gut feeling, that shift in energy, it's not just noise, it's your spirit speaking louder than logic. Don't wait for validation, don't wait for proof. When your inner voice speaks, honor it. Because being chosen means you're built to feel what others deny. If this message reminded you of your power, like this video, subscribe to the channel and keep protecting your energy like the sacred force it is. You're not just hearing the signs, you're finally understanding them.